I bought myself a new Shoei X2 Hornet helmet. I looked pretty carefully at the RIs and the Touratech version, and came to the view that the Hornet was the one to go with. I did have a small problem with it in that out of the box the chin vent is broken. Apparently Shoei is sending me a new one, and hopefully that'll be easy enough to install, and it'll resolve that issue. So far as the helmet itself concerned, I actually couldn't be happier with it. It's a tight but comfortable fit for my head. I'm a normal size L in sharks and things, and this is a size L, so it's pretty much true to fit. The first thing that stands out when you put it on is how good the vision is. It's just optically pure and superb. There's no other way of describing it. It doesn't have an internal sun visor, which is a shame, but not many of the adventure helmets do. I know that the new Shoebeth is going to have one, but it's $1,200 by the time you buy one in Australia, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. It's a very comfortable fitting helmet. I've got lots of room around the ears, even with the speakers for the intercom in place. It's a quiet helmet. I'm actually not wearing earplugs now, and I'm not feeling any particular inconvenience. The helmet also comes with a chin shield, a windshield for underneath the chin, which I haven't yet installed because frankly, the weather is getting hotter, so I want as much air coming through as I can. But also because I'm using the centre microphone and I'm trying to avoid reverb. But I'm assuming if I put that windshield in, then even the little bit of wind noise that I get now would disappear, and the helmet would just be quieter. It's a well-ventilated helmet. The vent at the top and the brow vent are brilliant for getting airflow over your head. You can clearly feel it once you turn those vents on. I can't comment on the chin vent yet, but I'd be surprised if it didn't just make that so much better. Some of the reviews say it's a heavy helmet. I haven't noticed that, and I've ridden it for 600 k's a day without any inconvenience or uncomfort or lack of comfort. And on a few of those days there were 40k winds coming straight on the nose, and you really didn't notice any sort of discomfort. Which brings me to the peak, which is the standout feature. It's quite elaborately designed, and Shoei says it's designed in a wind tunnel to produce minimum turbulence and minimum buffeting, and I can tell you they're dead right. I mean, I've had this with the Strom up to basically any speed that you'd like to do on a V-Strom, and there just isn't any buffeting, even when some of those speeds are done pushing into the face of a wind. At pretty much any legal speed I can turn my head left and right and just not feel that there's any buffeting from the peak at all. You wouldn't know it's there. The peak's long enough to provide a bit of shelter from the sun and a bit of shelter from anything that gets kicked up in front of you. It does show the marks of having been hit a few times, because it's obviously not as strong material as the rest of the helmet, I suspect, because it's meant to break off if you fall, and it's replaceable, so clearly the intention is that it's a sacrificial part. It is very, very easy to remove the visor. It's very easy to remove the peak. Very easy to put the, you can have any combination of peak and visor that you want. You can also wear goggles with the visor and the peak on. So it's very versatile for that. I've ridden quite a few times now on cold mornings and in the mountains where you go up and down in temperature. And touch wood, I haven't had any fogging issues. So I have the pinlock in now, so I'd assume I wouldn't be having any fogging problems, but it's been good so far. Certainly streets ahead of the Shark, which did fog at the side of it. So basically, if I can get over myself about the fact that the chin vent was broken when it came out of the box, I'm really very happy with the helmet. I looked very closely at the RI XD4 when I bought this one, and in the end decided that I couldn't get the most recent RI XD4 in Australia for a start, but RI doesn't fit my head as well as Shoei does, and so it was a comfort choice, and I'm glad I went with the Shoei. It's been an excellent helmet. And there's a couple of little things you could say about it. It'd be nice to have a tab on the front of the visor to lift it up and down instead of to the left. When you take the peak off, you get a little hole at the top of the helmet which has no plug for it. So an overall assessment of the helmet is, I'm glad I bought it. It's a great helmet. If you're looking for an adventure helmet, it's one you should certainly have a good long look at. It's, I think, worth the extra money that you're going to pay for a Shoei. I rode down to Bendigo to ride the Oxley Highway with a few mates who were on BMWs. I was on the V-Strom. And so it was a day's ride down, a day's ride back, and a day's ride on the highway, so 3 days on the bike in sequence. And certainly didn't feel uncomfortable or heavy or anything along those lines at the end of that. I have to say that at some stages during that ride, while I was trying to keep up with the BMWs, I had the V-Strom pretty much as fast as I ever want a V-Strom to go, with a bit of a headwind, and I felt absolutely no buffeting, absolutely no wind rush, none of the stuff that you'd normally associate with an adventure helmet with a peak. It was almost wearing a sports helmet, so whatever the Shoei engineers did and whatever they claim about how they designed the peak and how it performs, they got it dead right.